Riot police are to blame for the deadly sniper fire during February's riots in Kiev. At least that's how Ukraine's coup-appointed leaders saw it this week. They announced their investigation results after first clearing themselves of all accusations of wrongdoing brought against them by the former authorities. RT's Alexei Rozhevsky reports next on how the probe itself is raising many questions.
This DailyBeast.com article boasts of exclusive footage, it says, reveals exactly who is behind the shooting in Kiev on February 20th. The writer claims to have sifted through 90 gigabytes of photo and video material to establish the identity of the killers. It's a tempting headline and a tale, no doubt, but looking at the 4 pictures provided, the only thing they show is people with guns. Hardly a surprise on that day. It's also claimed the troops in the photos are from the Alpha Counter-Terrorism Regiment, a unit only authorized to shoot at people holding hostages or threatening the lives of VIPs.
Nothing of what they did was on their own initiative. It was all perfectly legal. None of the security forces units shot at people. There was a point when they opened fire, but they aimed low so their bullets hit the ground in front of people 3 meters away from them. This was done in order to stop people, to keep them from advancing further.
But the article has hit home. One of Alpha's heads is now branded a murderer simply for being spotted at the scene.
My unit is now being called a death squad, but I'm telling you officially, we killed no one.
All special units have strongly denied that counter-terrorism fighters were involved in any killing.
We had information that snipers were shooting at police from the Hotel Ukraina. We sent a sniper team to investigate, but they couldn't see anything from their position, so they changed position for a better view. But by then, they weren't armed.
Did you use firearms against the people?
No, we were only on an observing mission. We communicated with the troops on the ground and guided them to keep them safe.
Are you ready to hand over your guns to experts?
Absolutely.
So if it's true that police snipers did not do the killing...
Mostly gunshot wounds. Many of them died. Snipers were operating a shoot-to-kill policy.
Who were the people pulling the trigger? The man who was running Ukraine's security service, the SBU, on that day recently made striking allegations.
Shots came from the direction of the Philharmonic Hall. There were snipers as well as others who were armed with automatic rifles. Basically, they provided fire support for the protesters to attack police. And that's when they started shooting people who were attacking officers. Once this first wave of killings was over, many people saw about 20 men leaving this building. They were well equipped. They had special uniforms. They had special cases and bags for their weapons, including sniper rifles. There were some reports suggesting that they were from former Yugoslavia. We were asked to look into that. And there were also reports suggesting that they were actually mercenaries from other countries.
Yakimenko is speaking about the very same building from which my crew was most likely fired upon. At about 11 a.m. on February 20th, when gunfire was raging in central Kiev, I was about to go live from our broadcast position on 6th floor of Hotel Ukraina when 2 minutes before the live shot, somebody hit our window. A sniper bullet literally hit our window. It's still unclear to me who actually fired this shot, but let's try to put it into graphics. This is Hotel Ukraina. Our room is over here on the 6th floor, and this is the aforementioned conservatory building. The bullet's trajectory and the angle at which it hit our room clearly suggests that the bullet was fired from the rooftop over there, the building on the corner of Maidan, and according to the SBU chief, it was controlled by the Maidan Self-Defense Force at that time. But the fact that Maidan Self-Defense Force had recently cleared the building, as claimed in a tweet by one of their activists, does little to establish the truth. And given what we've heard from the former SBU chief, as well as a leaked conversation between Estonia's foreign minister and the EU's Catherine Ashton,
there is now stronger and stronger understanding that behind snipers, it was not Yanukovych, but it was somebody from the new coalition.
The identity of the Maidan snipers remain a mystery, despite the Ukrainian Interior Ministry's highly anticipated investigation. Alexei Rozhevsky, RT.
Well, let's recap for a minute those glaring holes in Kiev's argument in this ongoing blame game. Firstly, that phone call between Catherine Ashton and Estonia's foreign minister. His fears that members of the new government were involved received little attention, though, from Brussels. Then from that conversation, we also learned that the snipers shot both at civilians and the police. Then there were photos and videos showing protesters carrying firearms, not to mention reports of foreign mercenaries fighting alongside the rioters in Kiev then. And finally, some are asking what the police could have gained anyway from shooting protesters, knowing this would only increase anger on the streets.